If you're not where you want to be right now in your body or your mindset or your habits, you're not feeling confident and you feel stuck along your fitness journey, I promise you, it's not just your lack of discipline. It's not your schedule. And until you face this one thing, you're going to keep sabotaging your progress year after year after year. I have lost almost 50 pounds and I have competed in a bodybuilding show and won third place. I achieved my leanest toned physique, and it's because I finally overcame this one thing, which is fear. I have coached hundreds of women over the last 5 years, and I've seen that it's not the schedule or the kids or the partner that holds women back. The biggest thing that holds women back in their fitness journey is fear. I've heard all the excuses like, I just don't have the time, or now is not the right time. But when we dig deeper, those excuses that you tell yourself are just masking the fear that you feel deep down. Fear that you're gonna fail again. Fear that you're gonna disappoint yourself. Fear that you'll give it your all and it still won't work out. Fear that you won't be able to maintain your results. You're afraid of what success looks like. You're afraid that you won't be able to stick to it. One client told me, I've tried so many programs in the past and have always failed, and I'm afraid it's gonna happen again. And then you start feeling like something is wrong with you. That right there, that fear of failing again, is far more powerful than a workout program or a meal plan. And this is what keeps most women stuck for years. By the way, thank you so much for being here. I have a goal of reaching 5,000 subscribers, so it would mean the world to me if you could hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Girl, the moment you call fear a liar, that's when everything will shift for you, because fear will whisper and tell you it's not the right time. Fear will tell you it's safer to stay the same. The truth is, you don't need more time or more willpower. You need more courage. You need to go all in and bet on yourself. You're over here constantly thinking of the worst possible thing that could happen. I like this quote from Ed Milet: "Worry is a wasted use of your imagination." It even says in the Bible in Matthew chapter 6, verse 27, "Can any one of you by worrying add a single hour to your life?" Fear will steal the same thing that worry does, which is your peace, your purpose, and your progress. But it doesn't have to be this way. Back in 2017, when I let myself go and gained lots of weight, I'll put some pictures here, I let fear rule my life. I was so afraid of stepping on the scale. I was so afraid of taking progress photos that I just avoided those things completely. But there was a part of me that knew I was better than this. I knew that I had more potential. So what I did is I set a goal and I said, I'm gonna step on stage and I'm gonna do a bodybuilding show. And this was back in 2017 when I was overweight, unconfident, unhealthy, barely even stepping foot in the gym for the first time. I didn't even know what macros were. I was a complete beginner. But there was a part of me, a small part of me, that believed in myself and that I could do something big like that. So as the years went on, I really committed. I lost the weight. I finally overcame my fear of the scale and weighing myself, and I was starting to feel really confident in my body. But that fear of stepping on stage and doing a bodybuilding show was still in the back of my head. In fact, I hired a coach in 2021 to compete and actually commit to doing a show. And then a few months in, I felt myself backing out. And I was like, you know what? This isn't the right time. I don't think I'll be able to stick to that. I would rather live a balanced lifestyle. And I talked myself out of it. As the years went on, I went back and forth if I should compete. Should I do it? Should I not? I was so afraid of, can I actually stick to this? Do I have the discipline to be able to do a prep competition? Will I be able to afford that? Competing is very expensive. Will I fall on stage in front of everyone? I had so many fears that held me back from doing something that I really wanted to do. It finally took me 7 years, but I finally did my bodybuilding show. I stepped on stage last year in November 2024 and I got third place and I overcame my fear. And I did not fall on stage. All the things that I was afraid of, nothing happened. This shows that all the fear and worry in your head, most of the time, 99% of the time, none of those things ever even happen. It was such a huge testament of my trust in myself, taking a risk, going all in. I had so many times in my life where fear held me back, but I realized that me staying the same, trying to stay in my comfort zone, was not protecting me. It was such a great feeling to overcome that fear and finally keep that promise that I made to myself back in 2017. So maybe your goal or your promise is not stepping on stage and competing, but maybe you have a goal that you're afraid of. You're afraid to commit to that program. You're afraid to invest in yourself. You're afraid to step foot in the gym, but part of you really wants that goal. God placed that goal and vision in your heart for a reason. So it's up to you to push that fear to the side, but just face it head on. I want to show you an amazing client who is such a great example of this. She was so afraid to join our program, to invest in herself, to fully commit to her weight loss journey. but she took the leap of faith, and now this is what's on the other side. This is her progress in our program.
Signing up for this program was the best thing I've ever done. I learned so much from Coach Hallie, Coach Molly, and even Hallie's husband was the first person I spoke to about signing up, and he prayed for me. We had a beautiful phone call together, and I really understood at that moment I needed to make a change. And it was the best change I could have ever made, ever. Because I've learned so much from all these coaches, from the community. It's been a wonderful whirlwind. I mean, I feel incredible. I know how to properly feel my body. I have the right exercises. I wake up with a lot more energy. My energy is boundless. I feel incredible. I am 42 pounds down. I'm coming to 50, and I know I can do it. And it's all thanks to everybody. Thank you so much.
I just love watching those success stories because these are women who have fear. We all have fear of failure. We all have fear of what success looks like, but this is what's on the other side of you finally taking that leap, going all in on the vision you have for yourself. It is scary to make a change. It's scary to commit to yourself, but it is scarier to stay the same. Life flies by so quickly, so I would rather look back on my life and say, I'm so thankful that I did that I took that risk, I took that leap of faith, I faced my fear, I went all in, versus me looking back years from now having regrets. I wish I took care of myself more. I wish I took my health more seriously. I wish I invested in myself. Don't live a life full of regrets. But let's actually shift into how you can overcome fear. I want to give you a step-by-step process so you can stop letting fear rule your life. Step number one is to really call fear what it is. Sometimes you don't even know what you're afraid of. You're just like scared, but you don't really know why. So let's take some time to actually unpack that and let's actually see what is holding you back. And be honest. Don't say, oh, I'm too busy right now. Don't make the time excuse. Get deeper. Like, what truly are you afraid of? Be honest with yourself. Write it down and name it because you can't defeat what you won't face. Step number two is to now challenge this lie, this fear that you have. Ask yourself, what has fear cost me? A lot of the times we're afraid of getting started on something or investing in ourselves, but it's actually costing you way more to stay the same. What has it cost you in terms of your health, your happiness, your energy, and your confidence? Because you're so afraid of going all in on your goals, but you're also living a life that you're not really happy. You're not really happy in your body right now. You don't really have energy. You can't wear the clothes that you want to wear without judging yourself. You're feeling insecure all the time. Is that really a life you want to continue living? What has playing small and waiting until the right time actually done for you in your life? All of the things you've ever accomplished in your life, you probably had to take a risk and actually step out in faith. Playing small and waiting until you feel 100% ready is the quickest way to never reach your goals. Step number three is to create systems and not pressure. Stop relying on motivation and just when you feel good, you show up to the gym, or when you feel good, you meal prep. Start creating systems that make success automatic. Systems are like scheduling your workouts as non-negotiable meetings, having go-to meals ready so you don't overthink your nutrition, checking in with a coach or a community so you're not going through this alone. Step number four is to move even when you're scared. Just because you feel fear before doing something doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. Fear can actually be a compass. If I know that I'm afraid of doing something that I know is going to take me to the next level, I know it's going to help benefit my life and get me closer to my goals, that's how I know I should really do that thing. Because staying in your comfort zone is where your goals and your dreams die. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need to have all the stars in alignment. You don't need to be 100% all in right now. You can take that first step scared. You can walk into the gym feeling anxiety. You can sign up for that program feeling fear, wondering if it's gonna work out for you. Because honestly, all the times in my life where I've made the most success, I've seen the best transformation in my own body and just my life in general, all came from me taking risks and doing things that were really scary. I had one client, Haley, who was so afraid of joining our program because at the time she was working full-time and in school full-time, and she didn't know if she could commit to her fitness journey and her workouts. I talked her through it, and here we are 3 years later, she's still in our program. Instagram, she has lost 50 pounds and she's feeling the most confident and strong she's ever been. You have to take that first step. You can think, what if I fail? What if this happens? What if that happens? But what if you finally achieve your goals? What if you become the best version of yourself? And here's the thing about failure. If you're afraid of failing, you are failing right now by not taking action. The definition of failure is just quitting and giving up and throwing in the towel. So by you not trying at all, that is what failure is. You're doing the one thing that you're already so afraid of. There's gonna be mess ups along the way. There's gonna be mistakes, bad days, bad seasons. That doesn't make you a failure. You can fail, but you fail forward. You learn from those bad days, and as long as you get up the next day and you keep trying, that is not failure. You're doing the one thing that so many people will not do. So stop being afraid of success or fear of failure, of all these things. You just need to start. Fear is going to show up, but you get to decide if it stays. Don't let it rob another month, another year, another summer of your life. That is how I've been able to achieve my transformation here. And if I can do this, you can do it too. But if you are ready to stop letting fear hold you back and you want a customized game plan for you and your goals, no matter how busy you are, if you're not feeling ready, whatever that is, click the link in my description down below. I have another free video for you, and let's stop letting fear rule your life.